Good morning. I'm going to continue with Activity 4 of Chapter 1, which is about the photosynthetic gas exchange. I'm going to start by reminding you of photosynthesis. We have seen that during photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used by the plant to make sugar. Look at the next figure for more details. You can see that the plant takes water and minerals from the soil, and of course it takes carbon dioxide through small openings in the leaves. Also, energy from the sunlight is absorbed by chlorophyll molecules, which are located within the chloroplast. The chlorophylltic plant cell uses all these three elements in order to synthesize glucose, which is an organic substance. Glucose is a sugar molecule required for survival as source of energy. Moreover, glucose can be transformed into other types of organic molecules. Excess glucose will be stored in the form of starch. We know that this process of synthesizing glucose results in the production of oxygen, which will be released into the air. We will start this session by an experiment, which is done to prove that carbon dioxide is absorbed during photosynthesis. So, a green plant, supplied with a mineral liquid, is exposed to an air draft that traverses a solution of sodium bicarbonate labeled by a radioactive carbon. This solution releases carbon dioxide, which will be radioactive, because it contains this radioactive carbon. Few drops of phenolphthalein are added to the sodium bicarbonate solution. Phenolphthalein is a pH indicator that changes color, depending on the pH of the medium. Let us look at the experimental setup. You can see that the plant is kept in a closed container, and this container is connected to an air pump, which is connected to a jar containing sodium bicarbonate with few drops of phenolphthalein. Of course, container 1 is also directly connected to the jar. The air is pumped into the jar, and traverses the sodium bicarbonate solution. This air, now, carries radioactive carbon dioxide, and is transported to the plant. We want to see if the plant absorbs this carbon dioxide or not, by detecting the change in the pH of the medium. The results in this case are as such. The phenolphthalein in the jar turns dark pink, indicating a basic pH in the medium. Please note that, when carbon dioxide is present, this gas will make the medium acidic. In the absence of carbon dioxide, the medium will be basic. But, we still need to test if carbon dioxide is absorbed during the process of photosynthesis. So, this same plant was kept in the same setup, in the presence of sodium bicarbonate solution, but was deprived of light. That is, the plant was kept in darkness to ensure the absence of photosynthesis. Under such conditions, phenolphthalein was colorless due to the presence of an acidic medium. Before thinking about the results, and what do they prove, let us cover certain basic points. Please pause the video after listening to the questions, and try to answer them. First question, pose the studied problem. Second question, formulate the hypothesis, which is to be proven by this experiment. In other words, what is the hypothesis tested, if it is valid or not? Now, look at the answers and correct yours if needed. So, the posed problem. Is carbon dioxide absorbed during photosynthesis? The hypothesis to be proven. Carbon dioxide is absorbed during photosynthesis. Now, what can we deduce from such an experimental results? If we think about it, carbon dioxide makes the medium acidic, but, the result indicates that the medium is not acidic, instead it is basic, since the phenolphthalein pH indicator have given dark pink color. This means that the carbon dioxide is no longer present in the closed container. And since the green plant is the only thing that is present in the container, this means that It was the plant which absorbed the carbon dioxide. Moreover, when photosynthesis stopped due to the absence of light, carbon dioxide was not absorbed anymore, and as a result the medium was acidic. This actually proves that the absorption of carbon dioxide occurs during photosynthesis. Now, to write the answer according to the Lebanese curriculum, you should write an analysis followed by a conclusion. Of course, the analysis should include the experimental conditions, as well as the obtained results. In this experimental setup, phenolphthalein turns dark pink due to the basic medium upon keeping the grain plant, in favorable photosynthetic conditions, in a closed jar containing sodium bicarbonate as a source of carbon dioxide. However, phenolphthalein was colorless due to the acidic medium, when the green plant was not undergoing photosynthesis due to the absence of light. Such results allowed us to find an answer to the posed problem, which is the conclusion. Therefore, the plant absorbs carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. The fourth question. The starch formed by photosynthesis was radioactive. We have to explain the formation of radioactive starch in the leaves. Note that, radioactivity is used in this experiment for visualizing the location of biomolecules, which are labeled with a radioactive element. Let us track down the carbon element, and see its fate during photosynthesis. The sodium bicarbonate molecules contain radioactive carbon. So, the carbon dioxide released from this chemical, will also have radioactive carbon. This carbon dioxide will be used for photosynthesis to synthesize glucose molecules, which also contain carbon element. Since the carbon is radioactive, the glucose molecules will be radioactive. And you already know that the excess glucose molecules will be stored in the form of starch. This means that the starch will be radioactive since the glucose molecules will become part of the starch molecules. So, the answer would be: the labeled sodium bicarbonate solution releases CO2 having a radioactive carbon, which is then used by the leaf cells for photosynthesis to produce the organic compound, glucose, which will be also radioactive. The glucose molecules are then assimilated to produce starch that will also be radioactive due to the presence of radioactive carbon.